In our last live, we focused on resources and I promised that I would share some of my go-tos. Before I get there though, each of the creators who joined us on the panel is also tagged in this video. Please check them out and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And of course, you may find that some of our sources overlap. But still, I want to thank everybody who participated, including everyone in the audience who also shared their resources. I think we learned a lot from everyone. Here's what I'm personally using. For organizational and lobbying research, which is where most of the subsidy files actually originated from, I'm using OpenSecrets.org. This is where you can also learn about politicians, interest groups, and fundraising. Open Secrets is a phenomenal resource. Also, GoodJobsFirst.org. I'm mostly using this nonprofit to correlate lobbying spend to subsidies, but then also dig deeper into corporate violations and who received some of those phenomenal tax breaks, courtesy of the taxpayer. Then as a subsidiary of Good Jobs First, there's COVIDStimulusWatch.org. They reveal additional data points, including corporate accountability issues. From there, a glance at macrotrends.net allows for a better understanding of revenue and net income for each organization. And then to track stock buybacks, one of the sources I use is YCharts. Moving over to politics, when it's about candidates, I usually start at Ballotpedia.org. This is a really decent entry point to the individual politician, and they provide a first glance into who the politicians actually are, what they stand for, which committees they're on, etc. Then I hop over to justfacts.votesmart.org and dig a little bit deeper. Particularly the funding tab is anywhere between revealing and frustrating. And of course, then there is followthemoney.org, which essentially reveals who's getting the dollars and how much are they getting. Lastly, there is endcitizensunited.org, because every politician should be rated upon their willingness to take money from channels that do not have the best interest of Americans in mind. There's also BillTrack50.com. This is a resource I occasionally use. However, to be honest, I mostly go to the website of each state directly and get the summaries and then the full text of proposed bills from there. Some states, such as Florida, make it a little bit easier to find bills and then the full text, which is actually a little bit surprising considering that they freely give away their race towards fascism. It's almost as if they're proud of it. Lastly, there is the federalregister.gov, which gives you even more detail as to what is currently on the books, and Ash Caps, she's tagged, is the unrivaled queen of that resource. This is basically a high-level overview of some of the resources I'm using. I definitely encourage you to look towards the other creators who are tagged and capture their resources as well. And then please, if you use something different altogether, please add that in the comment section below. Lastly, as you can tell, there are many moving elements to capture evidence and data, and it does take time. What you will find is that no one person can truly capture it all. So when you start looking deeper into particular bills or politicians or organizations, try to find like-minded people. Split up the work and then share your findings either with each other or, if you're a creator, ideally with the world. If you don't want to do that, email me. The link is in the bio, and I will record on your behalf with, of course, citations, unless you would like to stay anonymous. The bottom line here is simply this. Those who are driving us into fascism are very well funded and very well organized, and they are putting in the work. So to stand a fighting chance, we will need to do the same and more to educate others and then find out as many details as possible about anything and everything we want to convey. And this is really just in hopes to prevent a highly undesirable outcome.